Alrighty everyone, so I got a little bit of a different video for you here today. We've got ourselves a computer that happens to be extremely dirty. Basically, the job is I've got to chuck basically everything except for the motherboard, CPU and RAM into that case, and then install a new motherboard, CPU and RAM as well. So, I'm not going to go through all of that today, but I am going to take you through how to clean some of your components, especially if you're doing a bit of an upgrade. So, I guess let's get to it. Want to get rid of that annoying activation watermark but don't want to have to pay an arm and a leg? Head to cdkoffers.com today to get Windows 10 Pro for just $11 after using the promo code in the description down below. Simply sign up by using a safe and secure payment method like PayPal and activate. Everything you need to get activated is in the description down below, so check it out today. Alrighty, so depending on how dusty your computer is, you'll want to be taking it outside, because really, you don't want the dust coming off the computer and then just going right back into it once you cleaned it off. So today I'm going to bring this one outside because it is extremely dusty. And then, once you're outside and you've got the PC, you want to grab something like this IT Duster's CompuCleaner, otherwise known as a glorified hairdryer, to basically just get the vast majority of all the settling dust that's inside the computer, basically off the computer, and then you can get into the more nitty-gritty kind of cleaning process. So, let's get that going. That is a giant ant. Holy crap-a-moly, look at that bad boy. See, this is Australia, folks. This is actually like one of the dustiest computers I've ever seen. Look at those dust bunnies. I'm gonna chuck this bad boy here, and we're gonna get to work. General technique here is that you want to get behind anywhere where the dust is actually building up. So in this case, you've got the two rear fans which have got dust building in both the top and the back. So we're going to get around to the back and the top, and we're going to blow the opposite direction to where the air would normally flow, so that it kind of shuffles the dust around a bit more. Let's also get to the front panel. So generally with front panels, if it's not mesh and it's like this acrylic kind of thing going on, the best way to clean it is without using a cloth and just wiping it off, because if you do that, and if you've watched any of my videos where I've mentioned the case, I hate acrylic because when you get a cloth and you like try to wipe off all the dust, it ends up scratching the hell out of it. So generally in that case, you do not want to use a cloth to clean an acrylic side window, and instead you want to use air as much as possible, and then if you really have to, use a cloth. If your case has a power supply basement like this bad boy, there's going to be a lot of dust build up down here, as you can also tell. So basically what you want to do, you want to do the same thing as the other side and just... Oh my gosh, this actually has to be the dustiest computer I've ever cleaned. No, it's not. There's one other one that topped this, and I think it was because it hadn't been cleaned in 10 years. But anyway, at this point you can also bring it back inside, because the majority of the dust has been dissipated and we're not going to be blowing it all around the room. So let's get to cleaning this bad boy. Basically in this scenario, you just want to unplug literally everything that ends up allowing you to actually get the components out of the case. So now we've got the power supply out, we can also get a good look at it. Oh my gosh, this thing is... I don't know what I was expecting from this. It's not great, not gonna lie. Look at this bad boy. Isn't this a beauty? Oh yeah. Alrighty, so now we've got the power supply out, let's give this bad boy a bit of a clean. Generally when I'm cleaning power supplies, I like to go in the back, and it generally, like, flushes all of the dust out the top. So for this specific example, I like to just grab myself, I've got this teatowel that I've been using for all this stuff. Basically, don't grab a white one like I did, I wasn't really thinking about it, but use a dark one so that, if you wipe it down, it doesn't make the cloth visibly that dirty. So basically, you just want to grab your cloth and you just want to give the outside a wipe down. Okay, so now that we've got the power supply out of there, we can also start taking out stuff like the graphics card, for example. Alrighty, so now for our graphics card, basically you want to do the same thing, take it outside, give it a bit of a blow down, and then we'll come back inside and give it a wipe down. So basically I like to go like this. Be gentle with it though, because you can accidentally knock off surface mount components on the graphics card, and that's not a good time. Other people like to use a bit of WD-40 to get that kind of nice brand new sheen to it. In this case, all it needed was a wipe down because really there was just dust on it. There wasn't really any kind of caked on gooiness that we need to get rid of. So now this graphics card is looking pretty nice and new. That'll be good enough for me. So from there, you pretty much want to just start taking out each individual component and going through pretty much the same process each time. For the CPU though, you can also just take off the cooler and then replace the thermal paste on there too. So for cleaning off thermal paste, I like to just use a regular old paper towel because it really does the job just fine. And then when you want to put it back on, use an alcohol wipe to wipe it down. Get that nice sheen to it. And as for fans, you don't actually really need to give them a blowdown or anything, because usually you can just get away with using something like a wet wipe. Now, the concentration of stuff with the wet wipe doesn't actually really matter too much, but as long as it's, you know, going to be dried off at the end of it, it should be fine. So as you can see here, as I'm going around, it is picking up a fair bit of dust and dirt from this fan, which is what we like to see. So as we keep going around the edges, I like to get it in there and just like go around the edge on this side, and then I come around to the other side and just go like that, because you have these struts in the way. So now that you've cleaned around the edges and all of the frame is pretty much clean, you can also just go ahead, flip it over, and then just give the fans blades an individual wipe down. For stuff like your acrylic side panel, basically the gist here is that you don't want to use a cloth as much as possible. So what I like to do is I grab my hand, I just wipe off the most amount of dust possible. Take this outside if I were you, so you don't get the dust just straight back into your house. So now that you've done that, you also want to grab your now semi-dried cloth that you used from cleaning the fans, and you just want to use this instead of using something like a microfiber cloth, because the problem with microfiber cloths is they have a tendency to do a lot of damage to acrylic side windows, unfortunately. So as we come around to the sides here, you just want to wipe it all into one direction, not the band, and then you just wipe it off the edge of the side panel. Really, the safest thing to use on acrylic is these baby wipes, because they're nice and soft, and so they don't actually really have a tendency to give anything scratches. And you just want to go really lightly over the acrylic so that you don't, again, scratch it. Alrighty, so now that we've basically cleaned down everything, that's about everything you need to do. So, yeah. I guess if you found this video helpful, chuck me a like, and if you want to see more content from me, you can also hit that subscribe button down below, and hit that bell notification as well, so you get notified whenever I upload. Anyway everyone, I'll see you all in the next video.